Yeah, France, if you want the statue, come and take it. But I don't think you're going to be doing that. Welcome back. Be sure to subscribe. Let's get right to it. First topic, the Democrats are pissed that Trump invoked the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to deport the Tren de Aragua gang members. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
Criticism that the Alien Enemies Act has only been invoked 3 other times. They were all during times of war. Do you feel that you're using it appropriately right now?
Well, this is a time of war because Biden allowed millions of people, many of them criminals, many of them at the highest level. They emptied jails out. Other nations emptied their jails into the United States. That's an invasion. And these are criminals, many, many criminals, murderers, drug dealers at the highest level, drug lords, people from mental institutions. That's an invasion. They invaded our country. So this isn't, in that sense, this is war.
You say to those who claim you're using a 200-year-old law to circumvent due process?
An old law? Not as old as the Constitution. We still pay attention to that, don't we?
But some would say this is...
How many more times do you plan on deporting El Salvador?
Yeah, so Trump is basically playing 4D chess here. I mean, the guy is just incredibly smart. People don't realize how smart the guy is. And see, unlike Biden, who just wanted to put a bunch of trans people around him for his administration, you know, he's got a bunch of really smart people around him too, you know, Trump. So it's just hilarious that they're so pissed about this. And given the situation too, it's totally a wartime situation in our country. Whether or not the Democrats want to admit it or not, the Biden administration waged war upon our country from within, folks. Letting all these criminals in, these illegals in, that was waging war on the country. And if you don't want to admit it, then frankly, I don't have any time for you, you know, because that's exactly what it was. So Trump just doing this, he knew he was totally going to be skirting everything with this Alien Enemies Act, and just, it's hilarious how he went about it. Just the fact that the judge tried to stop it and he's just like, yep, no, it's not happening. And the crooked judge, the guy needs to be removed immediately. You know, I mean, they're talking about possibly impeaching the guy. And yeah, if this is what you're trying to do, get, you know, gang members sent back to America mid-flight out to, you know, El Salvador. Yeah, fuck you, dude. You need to be removed from America yourself, frankly. I mean, at least from your judicial position. But all right, let's get to the next topic. So the last-minute Biden pardons of his family and Fauci and just to name a few are coming under question for use of Autopen. So yeah, apparently you're not allowed to sign a presidential pardon with Autopen, and so it's in question whether or not the guy even knew, you know, these pardons or anything that has his signature on it was being signed, basically. Who knows if Biden knew anything? This Trump put out as a tweet saying, you know, whoever controlled the Autopen controlled the country, basically, which is completely true. We need to figure out who was behind the Autopen, you know, and who was the one just getting all these signatures put on all these pardons or any sort of other orders that were signed, you know. And here's the thing, right? I mean, if it's capable for these pardons to be getting, you know, completely revoked and just rescinded in full because of the use of Autopen, we definitely need to be looking into these types of things, because I don't really care about the Biden family. Obviously, yes, if they committed a bunch of crimes, which we allegedly, you know, they probably did. I'm pissed about the whole Fauci pardon. You know, Fauci needs to face some sort of consequence for what he did to the country and basically the whole world. I mean, what do you think of Fauci? Let me know in the comments what you think of Fauci. But yeah, the guy, I just can't stand the way that Fauci was treated during the whole thing, like he was some sort of god. You know, the people just anointed him the god, and he was really, what he was trying to do was basically destroy our country. That's exactly how it went in COVID. People anointed him, and he took the power to just basically destroy everything, right? And the guy needs to face some sort of consequences. But all right, let's get to the next topic. Conor McGregor was at the White House yesterday, and he completely called out the Irish government. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
What is going on in Ireland is a travesty. Our government is the government of zero action with zero accountability. You know, our money is being spent on overseas issues that has nothing to do with the Irish people. The illegal immigration racket is running ravage on the country. There are rural towns in Ireland that have been overrun in one swoop, that have become a minority in one swoop. So issues need to be addressed, and the 40 million Irish Americans, as I said, need to hear this, because if not, there will be no place to come home and visit.
Yeah, now, people are going to be like, oh, Conor McGregor's got all these allegations going on right now, blah, blah, blah. He shouldn't even be at the White House. First of all, I don't really care. That's a bunch of he said, she said, you know, and there's a lot of, you know, did he really do it? Sure, if you want to say he shouldn't be cheating on his wife, yes, I completely agree, but about the other allegations, now you can't, that's all up in the air, right? But yeah, but this is exactly what Ireland needs, folks. They need a man who's willing to step up, be a Trump-type figure, and just say it the way it is, and be 100% country first, right? And McGregor shows like he could be that guy, you know. Luckily, we have Trump, and he's basically the only guy in the world who could have done what he did and go up against the machine and just tell people, yeah, I don't give a damn, I'm going to say whatever I want regardless, and still just win the damn thing, you know? But it seems like all these European leaders, they just don't care about, you know, their country and their country actually staying their country, you know? They just want to let all these illegals come in and just put them in these small towns and just let them take over, to where those towns aren't even going to exist anymore as you know them. You know, they're going to be, you know, Islamic states, you know, just pure Muslim regions of a country, and then sooner or later it's gonna just keep multiplying, and then they're gonna get bigger and bigger, and next thing you know, Ireland doesn't even exist anymore. It's basically Pakistan, you know, or, you know, Afghanistan, whatever stand you want to call it. That's what Ireland is going to become, and that's what the whole UK is becoming, and just Germany. Europe needs a man who's going to step up and take on the machine like a Trump, but there's nobody like Trump who could really just do what Trump did. You got to realize that. But maybe somebody could step up and actually become somewhat of that guy. And maybe it's McGregor for Ireland. I don't know. But hopefully for them, somebody, right? Somebody. But all right, let's get to the next topic. So France is claiming they want the Statue of Liberty back. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
There is now a member of the European Parliament from France who does not think the U.S. represents the values of the Statue of Liberty anymore. They want the Statue of Liberty back. So is President Trump going to send the Statue of Liberty back to France?
Absolutely not. And my advice to that unnamed low-level French politician would be to remind them that it's only because of the United States of America that the French are not speaking German right now. So they should be very grateful to our great country.
Yeah, France, if you want the statue, come and take it. But I don't think you're going to be doing that. But let's just be real. This guy just wants the brownie points of, you know, like, sticking up to Trump and telling America to basically, you know, screw you, F off, you know, we want our statue back. So his people around him and, you know, the government there, they're all, oh yeah, Billy, you did such a great job. You stuck it to the Americans, you know, like whatever his name is. The guy's name's down in the bottom there, but yeah, this is just a total, the guy's just, he got his like 3 seconds of fame sticking up to Trump and telling the Americans that you guys don't stand for what the Statue of Liberty is anymore. Listen, dude, that was a long time ago. We're done taking your huddled masses. We don't want them anymore, and we don't need them anymore, right? Frankly, they're just ruining our country at this point when you send huddled masses. So, yeah. If you want the damn statue, you can come and you can take the damn statue. But I don't think you're going to be able to take the damn statue. But all right, that's it for today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.